Designer Audiology is a participating provider with Medicare Part B or traditional Medicare. As a Medicare Part B beneficiary, you will be asked to sign an Advanced Beneficiary Notice or ABN Form prior to receiving certain services at Designer Audiology. I want to walk through this ABN form with you to help answer any questions so you can make the best decision for you prior to completing the form. At the top of the ABN, you will see some information with your name and the clinic's name. This is just identification information that you will see each and every time you fill out an ABN. Underneath that, you will see the letter D followed by the service that will be provided by Designer Audiology. This service is repeated multiple times throughout the form and will often read something like hearing testing, comprehensive hearing evaluation, tinnitus evaluation, or balance testing. In the middle box, letter E, you will see the reason why Medicare is making you fill out an ABN form. Audiologists in the state of Maryland are required to give you this form for all covered services under Medicare. Therefore, you may see the phrase such as, Medicare requires a diagnosis before services can be covered. Typically, although it's not guaranteed, Medicare will cover these services, but still requires that the audiologist provide the information for you. If the service being provided is not covered under Medicare, you may see something like non-covered service or service is not covered by Medicare when provided by an audiologist. This means that you will be responsible for the cost of that service. In the last box on the right-hand side, the associated cost for the service is listed for you. Again, it's worth noting that if Medicare covers this type of appointment, that they may not pay 100% of the usual and customary costs that is listed. It's also worth noting that if you have a secondary or supplemental insurance, the portion that Medicare does not cover will be sent to that secondary or supplemental insurance. If you do not have a secondary or supplemental insurance, you may be asked to pay the 20% that Medicare will not cover prior to receiving said services. The next part is very important as it is letter G, and it specifically states that you must check one of the options. It's also worth noting that we at Designer Audiology cannot check that box for you. Option 1, which is what is typically recommended, says that you are willing to receive the service that is being rendered, and we should bill Medicare for that service. Even if Medicare does not cover the service, we would be happy to bill it for you. However, if it is expected that Medicare will deny that service or it's a non-covered service, you could be asked to pay for that cost at the time of the appointment. Option 2 says that you do not want Designer Audiology to bill Medicare for any of that service listed. Even if Medicare covers the service and you pick option 2, Medicare will not be submitted and you will be required for that full cost at the time of the appointment. Option 3 says that you do not want the service that is being provided. If you check option 3, Designer Audiology will only do the services that you have agreed to on the ABN form. It's worth noting that a comprehensive diagnosis may not be able to be made if those services are not rendered. The last part is a signature and a date that is required at the bottom of the form. This is where you have to sign and date it. And it's worth noting that again, you may get multiple ABN forms for the same date of service because each item is listed separately. And you may be asked to sign ABN forms each and every time you come into the office, depending on the date that the service is rendered. Because you are dating this form, it is only applicable for the date of service that is provided. If you have any questions on this ABN form, please reach out to Designer Audiology. We would be happy to answer your question over the phone, via email, or to review the form with you again when you are in the office. We look forward to seeing you at your upcoming appointment. Thank you for trusting Designer Audiology for your hearing and balance healthcare.